like updates? Do you like new mechanics? Do you like new expansions? So do I. Let's talk about Guild Wars 2's 4th expansion, Secrets of the Obscure. Now we're heading into this new expansion format with faster and more consistent updates, and Secrets of the Obscure is looking to shake up expectations, all while shifting Guild Wars 2 to a slightly more mature horror tone, it seems. It's quite creepy. I'm very excited. For this video, I thought it would be nice to settle ourselves with a little bit more of a bullet point list and go over some of the major features and updates and changes coming with Secrets of the Obscure, because there's a lot of information to get into. We'll have more videos rolling out over the weeks, but this will be a nice little touchstone. Be like, oh, it's nice and comfortable. First up, let's talk about the story. With the Dragon Saga officially over, I mean, it's been 10 years. It was maybe time. The narrative direction is tackling a long-standing mystery, or at least a little bit of a long-standing mystery, and this is the Wizard's Tower. The Wizard's Tower has been an awkwardly floating castle in Keswick's Hills since the launch of the game, and players have been waiting for it to do something. And via the teaser, it has. It has been, I guess, ported to another location, probably due to unsettling circumstances. Nothing good ever comes out of a giant castle in the sky suddenly vanishing in an implosion. But I'm very excited to be tackling and exploring aspects of the Wizard's Tower. And a part of the Wizard's Tower is the wizards themselves, and also our new allies known as the Astral Ward. Now, alongside the Astral Ward, we're going to uncover the mysteries and lethalities and horrors of the Cryptis, a demonic army that seeks to punch a hole through the mists to say hello to us. But, you know, it's a little less friendly than that. It's probably a bit more of, hi. So I'm really excited to see more of the Cryptis from the concept art that we have seen through official channels, and even some silhouettes that we have seen in the trailer. It looks quite demonic, you know, sharp, jagged, demented. This new expansion holds 2 new zones. I think technically 3, because the Wizard's Tower is probably acting as some sort of a hub. But we have the Skywatch Archipelago, or at least it seems to be that on the official website, which is a chain of floating islands that reflects the world of Tyria that we have grown to know over 10 years. There's other screenshots that we've seen which hold assets from Cantha, from Alona, maybe even from the Maguma jungle. So we're going to be seeing a lot of familiar tonalities and motifs and assets, but with a twist in a new setting and with different story elements surrounding it. On top of Skywatch Archipelago, we have Amnitas. And Amnitas reads as, hidden just below the planet's atmosphere is Emitas, home to the Wizard's Court and the Astral Ward, a society unknown to those who live in Tyria. Here, the Wizard's Bastion are beginning to falter under the corrupting influence of the Cryptis, an otherworldly threat from the mists. So Amnitas could be just like the regional name, or it could be the name of the map, but these are the newer titles that we're working with, and I imagine are probably stronger hints at the actual maps. On top of story and map locations, we have gameplay to talk about. This is a game after all. Let's talk about some gameplay. The 2 most notable elements which were teased a while back had to do with unlocking restrictions and adding new tools and elements to the professions. I'm going to talk about unlocking restrictions first. Skills and spells are some of our favorite ways to enjoy a game, and those are in abundance with Expansion 4. Usually professions have a limited pool of core weapons that they can use, and they have a few weapons that are locked behind the elite specialization system. This restriction of needing those elite specializations is going away with Secrets of the Obscure. Now you can train via weapon mastery, and you'll be able to unlock those elite specialization weapons for your entire profession. So as an example, you could play as a dragon hunter with an axe, which used to not be allowed as Axe was only available to Guardians who were spec'd as a firebrand. So it's unlocking restrictions on what types of weapons were locked behind certain specs, and now, once you've trained it, you can have your whole entire arsenal at your disposal. On top of unlocking those restrictions, we have new weapons coming, not necessarily with the expansion, but in a quarterly update after the expansion's launch. However, we do know the weapons that we're getting for each profession. So, first up, Guardian, main hand and offhand pistol. As a Guardian main, I would not have gone for that, but I'll keep an open mind. Next, Revenant, main hand scepter, really excited about this. Warrior staff, which I think was, kind of obvious and really great. Engineer shortbow, kind of excited about that. Rangers are getting the main hand and offhand mace. A little funky, but okay. Thief, axe main hand, very excited about that. Elementalist pistol, main hand. Mesmer rifle. I'm gonna be honest, I think those two should have been swapped. I would have given Elementalist rifle and Mesmer pistol, but here we are. And then Necromancer, main hand, and offhand sword. That is the lineup. Those are the weapons that are coming with the professions. Next up, in terms of gameplay changes, I want to talk about runes and relics. As we know, runes currently, they are a stat, an item that you can put onto equipment, which has 6 tiers, and they're primarily stat boosters, but the 6th tier oftentimes has a special effect that will play or enhance your combat in a certain manner that's a bit more visual, oftentimes can be visual, or sometimes just purely passive. It was very restricting in terms of that 6th tier. Sometimes you would want the stats, but not necessarily that 6th tier special effect, or vice versa, you might want that 6th tier special effect, but the stats that rune was giving you was not necessarily something that you wanted for your build. They are separating these, and runes are going to just really be your stat boosting elements to put on equipment, and this new system known as relics will unlock at level 60, which is where you can input your quote-unquote 6th tier special effect. Now, they probably won't be called that. They'll just be called relics, and you'll modify your character a little bit more that way. Next up, let's talk some masteries. Now, we're going to try to get through these a little bit quicker. Sky scale. Now, some of you might have wondered, this seems to be a very aerial-focused expansion with islands floating in the sky. What happens to players who might not have these core flying mounts such as the Griffin or the Sky Scale? Well, in Secrets of the Obscure, they're looking to answer this issue by giving players easier access to the Sky Scale. The Sky Scale will be unlocked via this expansion, which I also believe the old way of unlocking your Sky Scale will still maintain in the game, and you'll even get bonuses for having both mastery lines. But the Sky Scale is unlocking itself, is becoming more accessible to players, and they are expanding on the actual mastery system for the Sky Scale. Next up, we have some new masteries. The Heart of the Obscure, which is shown off in the concept art and in some of the images on the official website. This mastery is a tool used in this new expansion to unlock secret locations, unlock chests, aid players in revealing the threat of the Cryptus to, I assume, unleash those rifts in the new expansion and also in old zones, as they seem to be mixing in older content, I should say, older maps and the newer maps to keep everything vibrant and alive. And you'll use this Heart of the Obscure to accomplish all of that, to face off against this new threat. Do you like rewards? Do you like being rewarded for playing a video game? I know I do. So let's talk rewards. First and foremost, one of the biggest things I think for most Guild Wars 2 players will be the legendary armor coming with this expansion. Yes, we already have one set of legendary armor, actually a few depending on the actual game mode that you are playing, but we don't have a legendary armor set that is quote-unquote widely obtainable by playing the open world experience. Most legendary pieces of equipment require a bit more commitment and high-end gameplay. However, with this expansion, they are seeking to change that a little bit, shake it up a bit and allow players a path to go down to acquire legendary gear that might not be as stressful or as much of a hardcore time commitment as doing raids, as doing competitive game modes such as PvP or World versus World. I think this is awesome, and it gives existing players who already have their legendary armor to acquire another set with a different look, with a different feel to it. I personally am all here for it. I think increasing gear flexibility and gear access to most players will do nothing but benefit the community by and large. So I'm a huge proponent of this, and I'm excited to see how it all looks once it's all finalized and in game. In addition to legendary armor, which was a bit of a surprise, this new system known as the Wizard's Vault has to be one of my most anticipated additions to the MMO of Guild Wars 2. Now, this Wizard's Vault, TLDR, not sugarcoating it with any fancy names, it's kind of like a battle pass, but even better, because it doesn't have anything to do with monetization from ArenaNet's end, which I respect so highly. There is absolutely no monetization connection to this system, but it does seem to be taking elements of a battle pass system and organically implementing it into the game for players to just be rewarded exponentially by playing whatever content they want to play. So it's essentially a battle pass, but it emphasizes the ownership of an expansion rather than a limited time pass in a game store. Most items will be obtainable by all players, I imagine, who own the expansion. I wonder if it's also tied to free-to-play accounts or accounts that don't have this expansion. From the wording, I kind of got that impression that this is just going to be a core feature of the game, free-to-play or not. Of course, there could be some restrictions with free-to-play, as sometimes there are in games. However, there will be some items within this quote-unquote battle pass system, quote-unquote reward track system, that is exclusive to the expansion. So it really does emphasize, with certain items, the ownership of the expansion and rewarding the player even more so by purchasing the product and really playing the product and enjoying the product, on top of all of the baseline rewards and changes, story, content, events that are coming with the expansion. There is nothing within this system where you have to purchase something, where you can purchase something in the gem store to increase your progress in this vault. And the way in which that you actually progress in this system to get your rewards with this Wizard's Vault is by doing dailies, weeklies, and unique objectives that will be tied to this Wizard's Vault system. Now, my impression was also that this is a way for them to overhaul and put a fresh coat of paint on the daily and weekly systems, maybe even monthly or like quarterly. But yes, by playing the game, no matter what game mode, by doing hopefully new dailies, updated dailies, weeklies, monthlies, quarterlies, whatever it may be, you will gain currency, an account-wide currency, standardized currency, that will be attributed to the Wizard's Vault, so you can individually save up and purchase items that you want to get. You don't really have to work your way through anything. You'll have a bevy of items to select from, rewards, skins to select from, and it really just seems like whatever you want to get, you can go and get. This is honestly such an improvement from a battle pass system that I don't even really want to call it that. It's the most relatable idea that I can put out into the world. So maybe you also get a little bit more of an idea of what this kind of means, but just so much more player friendly and not predatory from what it seems whatsoever. And any items that are going to be shifted out of the Wizard's Vault will then be placed in a legacy vault. So you'll always have access to those items. Yes, new items will come in and take center stage just to promote those items, but you can always go back and collect those skins, rewards, mount skins, backpack items, whatever it may be. You can always go back and work on that if you would like and work towards those. We have some Endgame. And of course, this has already been confirmed. Endgame content still has a place in Guild Wars 2 and is still alive and thriving in the form of strike missions and fractals. So with Secrets of the Obscure, as has been confirmed in the past few months, Secrets of the Obscure will launch with 2 strike missions, and then in the additional quarterly updates, we will get a new fractal. And then throughout those quarterly updates, we'll get the challenge modes for the strike missions, and of course the challenge mode for the new fractal. All that and more coming with Secrets of the Obscure. If any of these items caught your fancy and has re-energized, reinvigorated a spark of interest and passion in Guild Wars 2, or if you've never tried Guild Wars 2, this is maybe the expansion to jump into and to actually like sink your teeth into the story, because we are all starting fresh. You don't have to catch up necessarily. It doesn't hurt to have some background knowledge or have played the game before, but we are really journeying off into uncharted territory. If you would like to pre-order Guild Wars 2 Secrets of the Obscure, I have links down below. It greatly helps me out and supports the channel. Search out for other ArenaNet partner links as well to help support your local content creators, bringing you the quality content you look for and desire on your daily basis. But yes, I have links down below. It is currently available for pre-purchase with some exclusive and fun items for pre-purchasing, some titles, and some other goodies along the way. From what is shown, I'm very happy. I'm very pleased. These screenshots are really cool, and this was just kind of a quicker rundown of some of the major elements changing and or coming with the expansion. Thank you all so very much for coming on by. Like the video if you liked it. Comment down below your thoughts of Guild Wars 2 Secrets of the Obscure. What stands out as the element that you're most excited for? And maybe what is something that you are worried about and or disappointed in? I think both are very valuable questions to provide feedback and to get all of us talking about what we expect for these expansions and quarterly updates coming in the future. Thank you all so very much. If you'd like to support the channel, you can use the links to purchase the expansion and or subscribe to the Patreon to get early access to these videos. With the expansion cycle revving up, I got more videos planned. And I also stream on Twitch every once in a while when I'm not tired from my retail job. But thank you all so much for being here, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye everyone. Bye.